And just taking a check down at your feet, just noticing how they're pointed. Sometimes we have a habit of standing with one foot out and another foot turned in, or some variation of that. Just see if you can maybe adjust the feet a little bit so they're pointing straight ahead, just as a way of maybe giving the brain some information about how you're standing without judgment. And we're going to take a moment here just to settle our breath into the body, maybe bringing the breath fully through the body down into our feet. Just letting the arms loosely hang, and we'll take 10 breaths here, breathing gently in and out through the nose if possible. It's helpful in the standing position to have the knees slightly bent so they're not locked. Just imagining as you breathe, maybe deepening the energy to extend all the way to the feet and to the earth. And as you exhale, drawing the energy of the earth back up through the body. And if your eyes are closed, just slowly bringing your awareness and attention back into the room, and maybe allowing for the eyes to flutter open and be resting on a spot on the floor, maybe 2 meters or 10 feet in front of you. And just notice that as you do that, what happens in your neck or your jaw, and see if you can continue to lengthen through the back of the jaw, relax the jaw, relax the neck, lengthen through the back of the neck, and still keep the eyes in a spot in front. It might be that you need to adjust your gaze to go a little bit further out, just so that your neck isn't feeling tense, but finding that optimal place where the eyes can rest. And we do this because as we go into standing poses in our practice, this helps the nervous system to start to come down, to start to tonify the vagus nerve, which is a nerve that helps the body restore and relax. And so just keeping in mind, allowing the gaze to soften, the jaw to soften, we're going to move into the 6 movements of the spine. So the first 2 movements are flexion and extension, which some people know as cat-cow. So we're going to do this by standing with our feet about shoulder width apart, bending the knees to a point that feels comfortable, resting the hands on the thighs, and they're just allowing the belly button to draw in. So this is where we're concentrating the movement in the pelvis right now, but drawing the belly button in towards the spine. And as you do so, exhaling, and then allowing for the belly to release, inhaling as you do so. As you do that, you'll feel the back do another movement in the opposite direction. And then as you exhale, drawing the belly button in, tilting the pelvis under. Inhale, releasing the belly, the pelvis moves in the opposite direction. So we'll continue for 8 more breaths, just exhaling, drawing the belly in, tailbone tucks, inhaling, release in the opposite direction. And just making sure you're not going too far. In mindful movement, we're usually going somewhere between 50 to 70% of our total capacity. The idea here is that we want to be able to listen to the cues of the body, sensation of the body, which makes it its own practice of meditation, but also one that can release tension as we go into a sitting position. What we practice is what we become. So releasing any self-judgment and meeting your body where you are. Maybe 1 or 2 more of those. And then pausing and finding a neutral position in this semi-squat here. We're going to release the arms and just let them hang back and forth. And just move them back and forth if you'd like. Just allowing the breath to be nice and deep. And at a certain point, when the arms fling back, doing an exhale. And gradually slowing the breath down, slowing the movement down. And gradually bringing yourself up to standing. And pausing here. Again, noticing your gaze, where the gaze is resting. And pausing just to notice the movement of blood and the buildup and starting the movement of energy in the body. The loosening of the joints. We're going into the third and fourth movements of the spine, side bending to either side. So in this side bending position, just look down at your feet. Sometimes it's helpful to have them a little wider than shoulder width apart to start, and allowing the hands just to gently rest by the side. We're just going to move to the right and to the left, just noticing where you have range of motion until it's good. No need for any twinges, or, sometimes the movement might be less. Today I've got about 25% movement to the left and full movement to the right. So we have daily variations. And doing it slow enough so that you can really feel what's happening. We're going to add on the movement of the arms as we side bend to the right. The right arm travels down the right leg, left arm up and over. And then side bending to the left. The left arm travels down the left leg, right arm up and over. Just allowing for a gentle side to side. At any time in our practice, if you'd like to pause or explore even a movement, you're welcome to do so. And in our next movement to the right, the side bending to the right, we're going to pause here, left arm over the head. We're going to focus our awareness into the rib cage, this rib cage of the left side, breathing into the rib cage. So we'll go for 5 breaths here. And again, the eyes are resting on the floor in front, maybe extending through the top of the head, lengthening so that the back of the neck is long, pressing down through the inner and outer edges of the feet. And then taking a moment here as you finish that last breath to look down towards the outer edge of the right foot. And taking a nice full breath here. As you exhale, turn the head to look up towards the heavens and come back up, standing straight and tall. Just taking a moment and noticing how that simple movement might have expanded the left side of the body, maybe the breath in the back body. And we'll continue over to the other side, sliding the left hand down the outer left leg, right arm up and over. Take a moment here, 5 breaths into the rib cage. On the right side, bringing your awareness. And that last breath here, we're going to release, exhale, looking down towards the outer edge of the left foot, taking a nice full breath in here. And then to come out of this exhale, turning the head to look up towards the ceiling and coming back upright. And sensing and feeling the body here and noticing how there's a little more expansion in the rib cage on both sides. We're going to actually do the side bending one more time with an emphasis on the thighs and the pelvis. So side bending over to the right again, coming back to standing, side bending to the left, coming back to standing. We're going to now side bend to the right. However, as we do so, first we're going to press back with the thighs and press forward to the pelvis. So we're going to get nice and sturdy in the legs here, pressing the thighs back, pelvis forward, and then side bending to the right, squeezing those buttock muscles, the thigh muscles, nice and strong, squeezing out any buildup of fluid from the day. And then coming back up, releasing the muscles in the legs and the pelvis, allowing for the lymph and the blood to flow. We're going to side bend to the left. Again, first, pressing back with the thighs, pressing forward with the hips. We're pressing those hips forward, squeezing those buttock muscles, and side bending over to the left. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And coming back to standing. So we're going to take a moment just to pause for 3 breaths in standing, just to allow for the lymph and the flow of the blood to start moving through the pelvis and the legs and the trunk. And from here, we're going into a wide-legged stance, so stepping the feet apart, maybe 3 feet or so, and allowing the toes to point out. We're going to do a very gentle squat here to your ability, so just figuring out what works for you here, and allow yourself to adjust as needed. We want to make sure that as we come down into the squat, that the knees are coming over the feet so that we're not tilting the knees in or out in any way. So just as a demonstration, we'll inhale, allowing the knees to descend, come over the feet. I'm finding I need to adjust my heels in a little bit. And then press back up. And so just a very gentle press down and up. And we'll do that 10 times, just as a general number. Just do as many as feels good for you. This is just another way to get circulation moving from the ankles up to the heart. If you'd like, you can come up on the toes and do a little more, allowing the arms to hang. And then come back into standing. We'll go into a warrior series here. These are yoga poses, but I won't call them yoga poses. We'll just talk about the position. So we're going to stand here and turn the right foot out towards the right. That left foot is going to be turned in maybe about 20 degrees. And from here, floating the arms up shoulder height, palms down. Pausing here to get the hips nice and centered. And from here, bending that right foot so that the right knee comes over the right ankle. And even maybe just checking down, checking your knee to make sure that it's not tipping in or out. And again, we're going to go for a type of stability here. So pressing down through the feet. As we press down through the feet, activating this glute muscle, the buttock muscles, the thighs, really pressing down through here. And we're going to take 5 breaths, just breathing in, turning the palms up, exhaling, palms down. 4 more. Gazing over that right hand, over the middle finger of the right hand. Last one. Turning the palms down, facing forward, letting the hands descend towards the hip. We're going to actually bend that right knee. Hands are at the hips, which is the point at where the thighs meet the pelvis. So bringing the web between the index and thumb and pressing it into this groove here. We're going to side bend over the right thigh. Just really feeling this side bend here, noticing if there's any kind of twinge going on, maybe backing up out of it just a little bit. And you're welcome to stay just like this. Some people call this the triangle pose. So there are a number of triangles in this position. You're welcome to stay just like this and experience, feel the pose. If you'd like to adjust or bring your awareness anywhere else, just maybe making sure you're pressing through the inner edges of the feet. And if you'd like, you can slide that right hand down. And if you look, I have another triangle here underneath my right arm and right side waist. And then from here, if you'd like to add a little more, you can raise the left hand up towards the sky. In this place, just making sure that left heel is pressing down. We've got the edges of the feet nicely defined. And breathe. Breathe into the side bodies. If you need a little more stability, you're welcome to look down on the inner edge of the left foot or towards the earth. And to come out of this, turning the head to look up towards the sky, reaching that left arm up, coming back into this position of the right knee bent and the arms outstretched. Dropping that left hand, we're going to go into a side bending to the left. So side bending that left side body, right arm up and over. And then bringing that right arm down, right elbow down to the right knee, left arm up and over. And then just continuing this flow of side bending, side to side in that position of the right knee bent, left leg straight. And allowing your movements to synchronize with the breath. I'm finding I can do an inhalation with side bending to each side and an exhalation with a side bend to each side. Just seeing if you can equalize the breath with the movement. Even inhale to exhale. If you like, you can turn the head to go with the movement. As you side bend to the right, look down towards the right foot. As you side bend towards the left, look down at the outer edge of the left foot. And we'll do this one more time. And ending with the arms outstretched. Pausing here for a breath. Exhaling, turning both your feet to face forward. We'll let the hands rest at the hips. Just pause here for a moment. Taking stock. And we'll turn the right foot in about 20 degrees, left foot about 90, letting the left knee come over the left ankle. Just pause here for a moment, just settling in the pelvis and the legs. And remembering to engage the buttocks, the thighs, squeezing these muscles in. Again, not too much. This is an engagement of the muscle, but you can do 30%. This isn't a maximal contraction. Experimenting with the engagement in a way that is doable, and then just let it go. And lifting the arms back up to shoulder height, We'll do 5 breaths, inhaling, exhaling, palms down and up. Inhaling, palms up. Exhaling, palms down. Looking over the left hand through the middle finger to the opposite wall. Exhaling, floating the arms down to the hips, straightening that left knee. Side bending over the left thigh. Pausing here to let the body settle in this new place. If you'd like, you can stretch that left hand down, creating the second triangle. Inhaling that right arm up. Allowing the eyes to rest. And to come out of this position, we'll take a breath looking down at the foot, left foot. Exhaling, turning the head to look up towards the sky. Coming back up straight. Bending the left knee. Checking to make sure that the left knee is centered over the ankle and the foot, not turning in or out. I'm going to side bend to the right. Side bend to the left. You can bring the hand or the elbow to the left thigh. And just continuing that flow of movement and breath. Relaxing the toes. Relaxing the hands. What can you let go of as we do the movement and the flow? Awareness of the breath. And last one to each side. Arms stretched out wide. Pausing here for breath. Exhaling, bringing both hands to the hips, turning both feet forward. We'll pause here for a moment. We're going to forward fold as we transition onto the floor. So in this position of forward fold, we'll still have our legs out wide a little bit. And it's helpful if your hamstrings are very tight to have the back of a chair or the seat of a chair in front of you so that you can actually let go a little bit. This is a position where it's a gentle inversion pose. So what we're doing is we're drawing the breath deep into the lungs and allowing any buildup from the day, any stale air to come out. So to do this, we just want to be able to forward fold in a relaxed way. So for some people, this might be too far. So try your arms on the seat of a chair or on the back of a chair so that you can rest the hands or the arms and let the head hang. For some of you, you might be flexible. You can bring the hands to the floor, allowing the head to hang.
And to make our way down to the floor, we're going to bring our hands over towards one foot that feels more stable to us, and then bring the other knee down, and then the other knee, so that we're in a table position or on all fours. And just pausing here for a moment, just feeling how the heart has changed, the heart rate, the body. And then slowly walking your body down even further, coming down onto the belly. And we'll pause here for a moment. If you'd like, you can make a pillow with the hands so that the forehead is resting on the hands. Feeling the impact on the body, lying on the stomach. If lying on the stomach is a challenge, you're welcome to try putting a pillow or bolster under the hips. And just finding the position that might be helpful for you. You can curl the toes under. Sometimes for some people that helps. We're going to work with a movement here of pressing ourselves up into the elbows and then bringing the arms back down. So stretching the arms out long, stretching through the top of the head, stretching the legs out. So stretching long, and then sliding the hands and the elbows towards the chest until you're up on all elbows, the fingers spread wide. From here, pressing the pelvis, the pelvic bone into the floor, lifting through the chest. And then walking the hands forward again. We'll do that 4 more times, just reaching the hands out long, toes pointed in the other direction. And then sliding the hands, coming up onto elbows, pressing down through the palms of the hands and the pelvic bone. And then again. Sliding the hands, pressing up through the elbows and the pelvic bone. And 2 more times. And we'll go into another position or another movement in this position. So again, bringing the head down. If you'd like, you can rest the forehead or the side of the head on the right hand. And we're going to take the left hand and reach it out to the side. And we'll do some circles here of lifting the arm up and to the top and down. Now, for some people, this might be very hard. So you can let the fingertips be on the floor and do the movement. And this is just a way to relieve stress in the shoulder, the small muscles of the shoulders, but also strengthen them. So if you have the strength to lift the arm up and around, finding where your body is, what you can do. So this is an exploration, not only of the movement, but also how you hold yourself and your kindness in your abilities. And bringing that left hand down, resting the forehead on the left hand. We're going to do the same on the right. Again, finding where you're able to do the movement. Sometimes it's helpful to let the fingers drag on the floor, moving the arm in that range of motion. And then you'll find that you might even be able to lift the fingertips up off the floor in certain places. And bringing the forehead down, we're going to widen both hands out and bring the fingers all the way as if we're doing a backward type of snow angel. If you don't have snow, what we're doing is we're creating this swooping motion with the arms so that they swoop over the head and then back down towards the sides. 3 more. Great. We're going to make our way onto our back. Pausing here, we're going to stretch the arms and the legs long. Fingers in one direction, arms in the other. Now, if you have any kind of trunk weakness or your back has been bothering you, we're going to do some movements of the arms to the legs. But if you feel you're feeling like your strength is not there, or you're feeling uncomfortable with doing too big of a movement, then bend. We're going to bend the opposite leg, and that will help take some of the pressure off. You can also do this with a bent knee. So we're just bringing the right hand to the right knee. We're going to do that 10 or so times, but this is an exploration of movement and quality of movement of space. So it's less about the repetitions and just more about kind of giving you a guide on what we're doing. You can, if you'd like, just do one movement and notice the effect by lying still. What we're doing here is just doing a gentle massage for the organs, engaging the stomach muscle very gently so that it's very doing a nice little squeeze for the organs so that the lymph system can move and help the body balance. And bringing that left foot down, the right arm down. We're going to do the opposite side, or if you did the opposite arm leg, then we're going to switch. So from here, extending that opposite leg long and the opposite arm long, and bringing them to touch. The other leg that just was moving is bent. Again, if this is difficult, you can just touch the knee. You can keep both knees bent, or you can keep the moving leg straight. Again, this is about finding and meeting where you are and being gentle and tender. Your eyes can be closed, but they can also be open. Just allowing the eyes to settle, the jaw to be soft. Sometimes if you don't know what that means for the jaw to be soft or where it's supposed to be, it helps sometimes to put the tongue on the roof of the mouth very gently, not pressing. And then pausing from here, letting the arms be long, stretched out wide. Taking 3 breaths here just to notice the impact of that movement of the core, of the legs, and the arms. And we'll slide the arms down by the sides and go into a bridge movement. If you can bring the heels as close to the buttocks as possible. And if you're feeling like your buttocks are kind of not activating or as strong, or your low back has been twingy when you do this movement, then as you do it, see if you can press into the ball of the foot as you lift, and your knees start to press together. That can help take some pressure off the low back and direct it more into the buttocks. And then lower down. Lower everything down, let go completely, and then we press back up. You're welcome to pause and hold it at the top, or continue to do the movement. See if you can explore the fullness of the range. And this last one, we're going to pause and just holding this contraction at the end. Just hold it for 5 breaths here. Seeing if you can let go and release any tension in the rest of the body. The sensation and awareness is localized in one area. And gradually letting go. We'll do a final pose here of stretching the arms out wide. We'll do a rotation from side to side, so bringing the knees up to the chest, and maybe moving with the knees up towards the chest, just moving the hips back and forth, giving a gentle massage to the low back. And just allowing the knees to fall over to the left. Stretching the arms out wide. And as the knees stretch over to the left, let your head turn to the right. And breathe. Breathing into this right rib cage, breathing between the expansion between the right armpit and the right hip. With every exhalation, letting go of any remaining tension from the day. And inhaling the knees back up to center. I'm going to pause here for a moment, just sensing, feeling the body. Relaxing the face, the jaw, and the knees moving over to the right. And looking over towards the left. And releasing the head back to center. Coming back to center. Give your knees a gentle hug, either hugging around the thighs or the shins. And releasing the body, letting the legs be long, the arms outstretched, maybe a foot away from the body, 18 inches. And we're going to take about 30 seconds here of just really allowing the body maybe just to let go fully, just letting go of all technique. If you'd like and it feels comfortable, you can close the eyes. And to gently come out of this position, we're going to transition over to Tara Brach's meditation and Dharma talk. So to do that, just very gently allowing the body to gently move and come over onto a side that feels comfortable for you. Allowing yourself to gently press up into sitting. Just taking a moment to let the body settle in this new place, this new position. And maybe observing for a moment here what these moments of self-care have done for you. Noticing the quality within and maybe the potential